The markets still don't understand that even if the Fed hikes by 100 basis points, it's not going to bend this inflation curve. I don't know why everybody continues to be surprised when the inflation numbers come out worse than expected. They assume that what the Fed is doing is going to work. It's not going to work. The people who think it is don't understand the nature of the problem. As I've been saying since the beginning, since before people even recognized that inflation was a problem, that the solution includes positive real interest rates. That as long as we have interest rates below the inflation rate, even if they're higher, they're still negative, and negative interest rates put upward pressure on inflation. You can't fight inflation with negative interest rates. It's like saying I'm going to fight this fire by pouring gasoline on it. It's just that I'm only going to pour a little bit of gasoline, not as much gasoline as I was pouring on before. Well, if you're still throwing gasoline on a fire, that fire is still going to get bigger. And that is exactly what the Fed is doing.
Good early afternoon, 2:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Wednesday, September 14th, 2022, approximately 5 hours and 30 minutes before the daily close. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Now, what we have to cover now is, obviously you heard what Peter Schiff said. I'm going to continue to drop knowledge at the beginning of these updates if they're appropriate. But we need to get into XRP. We need to talk about the ramifications of the pattern setup right now. And then we also need to take a deeper look into Bitcoin. And we'll leave it at that likely. Actually, I might want to go into XLM and DGB as well. So we'll get through this when we get through this. So if you could do me a favor and hit that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're watching the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can continue to see it. Help push me through this analytics a little bit more, as we just went over 13,500 subscribers today. It's an honor. Actually, yesterday night. I can't thank you all for the support enough. And then leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the content, or let me know what you think about life in general, I suppose. So XRP, we're still dealing with this 5.5-year trend line. 33.38 roughly. I'm just this 5.5-year trend line, depending on where we're at. I'm saying it's the 33.26 approximately. But once you break that, you have a clear move that we can come down to about 32.67 is the next support. This looks like a right arm on a head and shoulders pattern. And it looks like here eventually we're going to break down. We're going to break down these walls. It's just I want to be damn sure that that's what's happening, because we still have to deal with an inverted head and shoulders pattern that is disguising itself right now. You got a left shoulder coming down, a head coming around to form a right shoulder, and all that's missing is to come up to this level. And then this is kind of like the foot being in the ground, I like to call it, you could say. Or this could be the big leg area coming around, and this is where the foot's sitting in the sand, which means if it does do this, you could come up here to 65 cents if this doesn't break and fill out this ascending triangle pattern, which would be a perfect move in relation to the pattern, and it would fill out an inverted head and shoulders here. But the other thing we have to look at is the overall pattern. This looks like a topping reversal pattern, which means this is like a right arm. So if it gets killed off in this extended bear flag, which is why I put such an emphasis on this area, we don't have to worry about the inverted head and shoulders playing back up, and we can in fact short the market. I'm looking to acquire more and more XRP as we continue to go down. Right now I hold 3,000 XRP. So, and somebody sent me a donation of 300 XRP that I'll never sell as a thank you. And I won't say who it was because I don't like to say who did it, but it's the first donation of XRP I've gotten in. I couldn't even tell you the last time. So it was very generous and thoughtful, and you know, it's overwhelming sometimes when you guys show support like that. It's really spectacular. So with XRP, if we do break this trend line, we can come down, but we have to wait until we break the low support here of 28.63 that we established on a breakdown here. That's our biggest area of concern. And then a broken bear flag, for anybody who's new, will get you down to 1687 eventually. That's your eventual target. Now, that doesn't mean that XRP couldn't break down, come back up and retest this, and then come down farther. Likely you would have a breakdown, break up, break down kind of thing. It's not always, but oftentimes you do have that happen. And since we haven't broke down out of this bear flag yet, you're going to have a retest likely before you can fully break down. That's why I would love to buy in right when it's about to cross that line. And I feel like it's going to happen. Right now it's putting in an extended bear flag. And you can see even in the smaller time frame it's putting in a bear flag. And if we look at this, and this played true, because there's no guarantee it plays true, ladies and gentlemen. So my play true would be it would probably meet at the 20-day somewhere, which means that it can come up from this area slightly. It's not a huge move, but it'd probably meet somewhere around the 100-day, maybe slightly below it. So I mean, you would have an initial move to get you down here, and that could present a bearish W Gartley or some kind of formation that could be forming as well. So there's a lot of stuff to look at. It's not just, oh, XRP's coming up. What if it did something like that? What if after all it comes like this and then it did bounce like this, you know, and it wanted to fill out this pattern? And that would only get us up to 38.5 cents, but still we need to make sure that these patterns aren't going to fill out. We need to make sure this uptrend breaks before we can confluently say, hey, we can short the market. Conversely, if it got up here, then we could say we could start longing the market and at least play it up a little bit. Not saying you would hold it for all times on a leverage trade, but if you wanted to add XRP, you want to add it as it goes down, not as it does these little bear market rallies. You'd rather have these bounce downs when you buy it. So that's why if you wanted to buy it at 40 cents, I said no. But if you want to buy it now and add a little bit to your portfolio at 33.74, I'm never going to kill you. Bitcoin's under 20K, which is what we're going into right now. In time, XRP is going to be the dominant one. I have so much faith in XRP, and I've been talking about it, but I had to talk a little differently for 14 months as I couldn't have everybody going, you know, getting liquidated. After we made our 400+%, we had to go liquid at $1.66. We didn't get it right at the top because we didn't sell out. We had hopium still, but we sold it at $1.66 and we haven't looked back. Now I've added 3,000 XRP between 29 and 32 cents. 29.8 and 32, and then somebody sent me XRP, I believe it was about 33 cents. They sent me 300, which I'm eternally grateful. So that's where I stand. But with Bitcoin, it's sub 20K barely, but it did have a nice drop down here. So we are going to focus on XRP and Bitcoin in this update. And then in the next update, we're going to have an expanded look at XLM, XDC, likely, and DGB. At least XLM and DGB. So right now with Bitcoin, we did break this parabolic uptrend as I talked about. And these are parabolic because you want to stay on top of them if you're going to break out of areas. Broke down below it, and now we broke the 20,413 support. And we almost came all the way down to 19,525 very quickly. We did pull back up. And this could be a wick down, but it looks very bad right now. This isn't looking good. In fact, it's almost completed this pattern, and you would think we have to come all the way down here to this 18,600 range or the consolidation zone. So this looks bad, but there are always chances at retest. We broke down, had a pull down here. Now, a lot of times you do like to come back up here and verify an area, whether it's the 20-day, it comes up and retest. We need a big rejection here at the 20-day. So if you see a rejection at the 20-day, you're in the 30-minute time frame. Bitcoin's in a lot of trouble. It's already in a lot of trouble. And then this downtrending support, that if it has to play out here in the eventual terms, what was the downtrending resistance line and support? But now if it breaks through here, if it were to come down here and break 18,497, then you can see a clear pattern down to 17,197 on your way to 10,194. This is a dire situation for crypto, because if Bitcoin were to break, if you ever see Bitcoin break 18,469, you literally have last resort support down here at around 17K. If it breaks that, it's over. It's already over if it breaks this. This extended bear flag brings you way down to this next uptrend. There's a little support here and the little support I talked about there. But overall, you're looking at a very distinct downtrend, a break. So that's what we'd be looking at. Now, if you're still watching for XRP, I promised somebody in the comments, but I made you work for it, that in my next update, I would show you the various uptrends. So 2017 is the update or the uptrend that we're worried about most right here. It's how we finally broke out of this ascending triangle, made a parabolic spike, and this started April 17, 2017, where I'm going from. The problem is where it made this parabolic spike, and you can see the corruption here on Binance, how far it wicked down in the weekly. The problem is this was during quantitative easing. Now that we're on quantitative tightening, all this is bullshit. They're pumping the markets that had no choice but to go up. Now that we're tightening, once we break this 5.5-year uptrend, now the real damage happens. The true uptrend for XRP started all the way back in 2014. The last time it established it was 2017. This is all quantitative easing. This is right when we started quantitative tightening. Now I project it's going to continue to come down. Now, can we come down to the true uptrend at about 0.2016870 or 02, like 2 cents? That remains to be seen, and by no means am I guaranteeing that. What I am saying is if you break this 5.5-year uptrend, it makes things very, very interesting. You would have supports of 32.69 immediately and 31.33. We have a 28.63 area where we wick down. We would need to break that. And then it gets dicey. Then you've got 1991, but there are moments in between, but the projected move down would be down to 1687 out of this broken bear flag. So that is how I come up with these levels. I will dig deeper into these charts on my next update. Make sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing. If you want to see the ISO expansion to the channel, I am doing that in the members only area, as I believe it's imperative that I put some stock into the members. I can't put everything out to everybody because it's just simply too overwhelming. And by doing it like this in the members only area, I put out an update with algo. It's an up to the minute TA plus a bare bottom target reveal, exclusive members only content. And I thank Tom's Army. There's 211 members, I believe, the last I checked. So for all of you, you will get this exclusive content, not just algo, but also IOTA, Quant, HBAR, ADA, and time. It's going to be the ISO expansion, and you're not just going to get charts. This one gave a nice expansion on the chart, a nice breakdown, but in the future, you're also going to see the blockchains and the reason why you need to buy these ISO coins. I'm also going to be putting more of my membership, my position updates inside the members only area so that I don't get any backslack from anybody who doesn't understand I'm not a financial advisor and who's in it for the wrong reason. If you want to show me that support and join Tom's Army, all you have to do is go to my past video, click on it, and come down here, and you can see a link to join Tom's Army under the donate, and then you can also send XRP or donate by PayPal, Cash Me App, Venmo. I encourage you to join me on BitGet, as there's no spot trading fees for XRP. So if you're on Uphold like I am, I encourage you to join me on BitGet as well. Buy your XRP there and send it back to your native exchange so you don't have to pay spot fees. It's a blessing in disguise when I don't have to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars in fees, and I can send it back to Uphold if I so choose. You also don't need a VPN in the USA, so it's a double-edged sword. So it's very easy to do. And then the only other thing is, if you join Tom's Army, you don't just get that exclusive content. You also get my Telegram with 226 members right now. And we have nonstop communications. And it's a spectacular place where we talk about the upcoming things in the charts. And it's more than just me in here. A lot of other people share their charts as well. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank each and every one of you. Hashtag be better, do better. And in the end, with your support, I can keep this ever growing. And to the members of Tom's Army, that expansion is going to be spectacular.